Other people can really only treat you as good as you treat yourself, or perceive you as good as you perceive yourself. That may be controversial, but hang on, I got some points to make about it. Hi, I'm Angel. Thanks for stopping by. Of course, sometimes you're feeling low and somebody can say something nice, tell you they perceive you higher than you're currently perceiving yourself, and that helps lift you up, or helps you lift yourself up in your own mind. And I'm not trying to invalidate that or discredit that. However, ultimately, the sum of how people are treating you, and not just how people are treating you, but what you accept in other people's treatment and how you feel about other people's perception of you, is going to have a lot to do with how you perceive yourself and how you treat yourself. And if you're treating yourself really well and somebody tries to treat you poorly, you're just going to walk away. You're going to leave the situation. You're not going to accept that kind of treatment. So even though you treating yourself well or holding yourself to a higher standard won't necessarily make other people act in any certain way, because we can't make each other act or feel the way that we want, even if we knew that. However, it still will, in the total umbrella, the total package of how you get treated and how you perceive that you're treated and how you feel your own self-worth, the standard that you hold yourself to, that ultimately affects the total of how other people treat you and how other people perceive you. And I recently I had a little wobble, as I frequently do, and I was telling shitty stories about myself again for a little while. And I kind of reached out to some friends of mine, but here's the thing. I didn't reach out with a statement of I'm feeling bad and or I'm not worthy kind of statement, looking for reassurance. Although I have done that, and I see people do that frequently. But instead, I reached out with a statement of, hey, I could use a little help, and if you want to help me, I sure would appreciate it, from my good friends. And what do you know, like 4 or 5 of them stepped up and let me know that they really admire me, that they are inspired by me, and that they were happy to help me. And that, for me, was a really great example of what I'm talking about, because the totality of how I am presenting myself lately is with a raised standard for myself. And even in that statement, there was a time not long ago where I would have worded that differently, but I feel pretty good about the way I worded it, and pretty good about the reaction I got, which was help from my friends. But instead of saying like, I'm desperate, or I'm not a good person and I need help, which is harder for people to help you with, I said, I didn't even say I'm a good person. I just presumed that my friends know that of me. And I said, hey, if any of you can help me, I sure could use a hand right now. And actually it was a $40 loan. And 3 people stepped up saying they could loan it to me. 3 people stepped up and bought stuff from my store so that I didn't have to borrow it, even though other people put it in my PayPal account for me. That's good friends right there, for one. And it's also, though, a result of me holding myself to a higher standard and me cultivating relationships that are held to a higher standard. So I'm still not done. It's a work in progress, probably always will be, but I have certainly made some progress from where I was a few years ago, as far as my sense of self-worth, my standard of living, my standard of relationships, and my standard of speaking about myself, most importantly. So even though I had some wobble, which I think is normal, many of us do sometimes, instead of staying with that, I quickly, just because I've decided that I won't stay there, I quickly adjusted that to back to my standard. And even though I still had some of that feeling, it really dissipated quickly, and I feel a lot better now than I did. And I'm sure I'll have more moments of not feeling my best. However, it's really refreshing and encouraging to hold myself to a better standard, a higher standard, a more worthy standard in my own speaking out loud. And even in my mind, even though I caught myself telling some shitty stories, I was pretty quick to catch that and realize that, first of all, if there's nothing I could do about it, it was just making me feel bad, to change the subject in my mind. Ooh, there's a rainbow. And secondly, to quickly get back on track with what can I do something about, and making a positive move toward improving at least part of what I was feeling bad about. So I don't know if I mentioned, I think I did, that I'm Angel. This channel, I aspire to inspire you toward your greatest, most joyful, most playful, highest standard, most worthy self. And I welcome your questions and comments. Are you struggling with your own self-worth? Let us know in the comments. As always, you can find ways to connect to me and ways to support me in the comment section below. And until next time, I wish you peace, prosperity, positivity, progress, potential, and playfulness.